Okay, let's try to fix some stuff. Let's see if this is going to work. Receiving your content. Fantastic. All right, we are going to do some snowstorm fixes. We are in the shop. There's 2 feet of snow, and I'm cranky because the gym is closed today and it was closed yesterday. So we came back to the shop, and we are going to look at some of this stuff that has been here for a while. We have some iPod 4th generations that are here for data. So we're going to see what the deal is. So I'm going to open up this one. Let's see. There's 2 of them here. Fix if cost effective. It's not going to be cost effective to fix any kind of 4th generation touch. I've fixed for this guy before. Device passcode unknown. Yeah, it's
great.
Great. Let's see. So tech had a tool slip during screen replacement. Good. Sounds easy. Yay.
It does sound easy.
Yeah. See? Why? So don't you regret not doing this today? You were looking for easy job.
iPod Touch 4th? No,
hell no. No, this is going to be the like little dudes by the PowerFlex, I bet. Let's find out.
Yep.
Why did he put all the screws in? What a pain in my ass.
Yeah, that
last chance.
I actually was gonna look at that today, and then I saw those screws and was like, nope.
Alrighty, so Mark turns out to be a giant snow pussy. This is what Mark says about the snow. Snow is dumb.
It is. It's the dumbest form of water.
The dumbest form of water.
It's my least favorite of the precipitations.
Is it? You'd rather have like
I would
hail?
rather have a hurricane.
You'd rather have a hurricane than snow? What is so bad about it?
It's just miserable. Like, it makes it so that doing anything outside is absolutely miserable, and it doesn't just go away when it's done.
Okay. Isn't it kind of festive though? Like if
not in March.
All right, I gotcha. When was the last time you unscrewed an iPod 4th generation?
Oh God, when I still worked in a shop.
This is a shop. Not this dump. I mean, no. I mean, other than this shithole, this unauthorized shithole.
This is a professional training center.
That's right. This is a professional training center. So, how do you think the students are doing this week?
They're doing good.
Did anybody fix anything with you today?
Well, I didn't get to spend a lot of time. I gave some advice.
Okay.
But I was mostly.
You were too busy with my rabbit holes?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So snow plus rabbit holes. Not a good day. All right. You can be in charge of answering chat questions.
Oh.
All right. There you go.
They're already getting started. Wow.
Yeah. You're right. iPhone 4 much better. All right. This is the right time to have a stream. Morning repairs, and now I've got a lunch break. Great. Always glad to help out. They'll give the passcode soon enough for their data. I doubt it. I bet the child that owns this iPod 4th generation, that when he sent it in was desperate to save his progress on I don't even know what kind of apps you can play on a 4th generation, has definitely forgotten his passcode by now. We'll see. We will see. All right. I'm going to bet. Let's make a bet, Mark. I'm going to bet that this is going to be a torn power flex plus 3 missing components next to it. And
okay.
if I'm right.
Torn flex and 2.
It's lame. Yeah, that is lame.
Well, it's definitely going to be a torn flex.
And fixing these used to be. This is nostalgic. This used to be, I think, my least favorite repair.
These were a common repair when I first got into mobile repair.
Oh, so you're an expert. Why aren't you doing this then? So you have like a ton of experience.
I was the only one in the shop I worked at that could connect the digitizer on those. Like I had to connect the digitizer every time, even if somebody else was doing the repair.
Because they were all dumb women.
No, I'm not going to name names.
I see what you're saying. Oh, I remember these where this was back when I was like doing eBay days, where you would get like the pink colored iPod touchscreen that was really shitty, but you didn't know it, and then the little flex.
They were so bad.
They were so bad they would never fit. The flex
whites would be gray.
The flex would like crinkle, and then it would just have no display whatsoever. All right, let's see what
That doesn't look like that flex is torn.
No, it doesn't. So we're Mark, I have a sweet rabbit hole you may like, an iPhone 6 with previous chestnut replacement, new FBC, all new data filters. It sounds like a Price is Right ad. And the all new data filters. The LCM power line filters replaced, and the screen looks like an LSD trip. Gee, that sounds really fun.
I might have seen, if you posted that on Facebook, I might have seen that, Chris. Every once in a while, Chris Long will send me one of his rabbit holes, like when I'm like, yeah, sure, my queue's low, and something interesting.
I'm bored, and there's no snow.
And they're always like, what the fuck? It's always just, I don't think I've solved one.
And yet you keep signing on for more.
Yeah.
All right, we were totally blown out of water. There's nothing wrong with the power flex, and there's no.
It's not in focus.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, camera shifted. There's a tiny little damaged cap to that, but I doubt that's what he's talking about. So we will have to go on a hunt to see what kind of damage.
Yeah, where else do tools slip in an iPod?
I don't know. I do not. Oh, down here. If you try messing with the battery, I guess. Who does that? This is taking disconnect the battery to an extreme. All right. I kind of want to know if this thing charges. Let's look at the port from the other side.
Oh God, I hate this port.
Oh yeah, me too.
The worst charge port
but
ever.
don't you kind of think like at some level like, well, I haven't done one of these forever. I wonder if I'm good at it now.
No. No, I'm not interested.
You're not?
No.
Not even a little bit?
Nope, I don't want to know if I'm good at it.
All right.
I'll just assume that I would be, and that's good enough for me.
Okay, well, you could do it like that. All right, so this one here is not charging. Great. That's my donor board one that I've tried to revive. Okay, let's see what the deal is here.
22.
It's fine. Is that going to be a
I would guess
recovery mode thing?
probably that the voltage on that battery maybe is super low.
You think it's going to be super low? What makes you say that?
Because
Because it's been... When did this one get here? January 25th. That's not terrible.
Okay. Yeah.
That's not... I mean, 2015, but...
Wait, really?
No. No, come on.
2016?
Yeah. 2017. No, I mean, but...
even...
I don't know. And it's international. Somebody really wants their progress on... Let's guess what apps are going to be on here. Oh, shit, the microphone is falling into the soldering iron. Those charge points aren't bad now that I know what low melt and proper hot air temps are. Great. Well, we'll see if we have also gained in competence since the last time we ever did one of these suckers. Oh, okay, that battery is trashed. I mean, this is one of those ones where we're not going to have any kind of known good anything for this. All right. I wonder what he means by tool slipped. That doesn't make any sense.
Chris is going to be at the Memphis thing.
The Memphis thing?
Yeah.
All right. And when is that?
May 5th to 7th.
Oh. May 5th. Cinco de Mayo in Memphis. Who picked Memphis? What's so great about Memphis?
Matt Perez picked it just because he's following through on what he's always talked about of having like smaller meetups
conferences, yeah.
that are easier for people
Yeah, like
to travel
the Hangouts idea.
Yeah.
Regional Hangouts.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the weekend before class, so it was easy to just get...
Oh, I thought it was during course week.
No, it's the weekend before our double course week.
Yeah, that'll be fun. So you're going to be all sobered up and fresh and ready for class?
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I plan on drinking way too much with Overdick and Josh Moulton.
Great. That sounds great. Because the last time I heard about you drinking way too much was the single comment about you walking down the street with Lewis going, "Why do we have to walk so fast? It hurts my taint!" That's the only thing I heard about that whole thing. Is that true?
Yeah.
You remember that?
I remember pieces. I remember we were talking to like this random person who happened to be walking the direction we were, and we were talking to him for a while. And we got to their destination, which was this bar, and we're like, okay, we'll go in here and get a drink. And it was like, I had no idea that it was like a black bar. Like, it was shoulder to shoulder. Like, you really could not, like, we got about 2 feet in, and like, you couldn't get to the bar. Like, people were pressed against it.
So you had to like pass a note?
We went and found an emptier bar.
Ah, smart. Was that by Lewis's apartment?
He would say yes. I would say...
I would say it's about 3 subway stops away.
It was at least 3 miles.
Wow.
Yeah. He tricked me into walking way too much.
Tricked you?
Well, yeah, because he'd be like, okay, this is the stop we're getting off, and then the stop we got off would be like 15 blocks from where we were going.
Uh-huh.
And we would pass like 3 subway stops on the way there. He's like, oh yeah, it's not the same train. And like, yeah, no, I can see that says L. That's the same train.
There's the lady I was sitting next to.
Yeah.
She did that was asleep. She's still there.
And then when we would go to get on a train, he'd do the same thing. He'd be like, no, we gotta, our station is just right up here, and we would be walking for like 45 minutes.
All right.
I'm not paying attention to the chat.
You're supposed to be paying attention to the chat.
Yeah.
All right. My chat's probably lame. Everybody probably unsubscribed after Fascinating Womanhood. The reading of Fascinating Womanhood may not have been right for the demographic of my subscribers. I don't really know that for sure. Oh, there we go. Man, this is a memory lane. I don't think I've ever looked at one of these since I moved into the shop.
Yeah.
Memories.
I gotta get up here.
Of course you do.
I'm not doing any soldering.
Of course you do. Oh yeah, I remember these. All right, who's got some great tips and tricks that they have learned for working with the good old-fashioned iPod 4th generation touch? Now look at that screen. That is a broken screen. All right, let's just peek. I don't think anybody was ever on the other side of this board. All right. Now, do these things, what kind of problems did these ever have? I don't remember them having backlight problems.
Nope. I can't think of like a signature iPod Touch board problem besides battery or torn power flex.
I think board ripped in half would be one.
Yeah, I remember that.
I can see that. How hard is it to even get a screen that'll work on these anymore? I feel like we should go take this up to the Museum of Plays, like, remember this toy exhibit? And just drop it off. I remember there was like a special way you had to accordion this flex.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
Yeah, and back when I was doing these, like the idea of desoldering the power volume flex and resoldering it was like, no way, I can't do that.
That's, no. I'm not authorized for that shit.
Yeah.
That's what they do at the Apple store.
That's a level 3 repair.
Yeah. I haven't been to Wild PCS, so I couldn't possibly.
That was an idiot.
Memories back in the day. All right. I remember they got power volume flex. That's what you had to do all the time. Because that was the soldering job, the little 4 or 5 pads there. But then you had to like tape and, like go nuts on that flex. All right, let's see.
David Rose watching, and he wants someone to put Mark in a dress. No?
Put Mark in a dress? In a house dress?
Getting weird now, David.
Well, Dave Rose sent me an email today, asked me for a cock.
All right.
No lie. All right, so this is doing nothing on that. I'm going to go with maybe it has a bad screen. Let's see what it would take to make this be powered by a DC power supply. And lay that back down. There you go, buddy. Let's see what it would take. All right, so we're gonna have to figure out what these three battery things are.
It's the one with the plus is positive.
Is it? You
Yeah.
sure about that?
The one that's connected to ground is ground.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, if you say so. I don't want to fuck this up. All right, let's look. Let's look at what these things are doing. Focus! Focus! That's as good as it's going to get.
Yeah, it's way better now.
Great. All right, let's see if we can figure out what's going on here. I see a solder ball. Hello. All right, which one of you mofos is ground?
No, Victor, it's Miller Lite because I ran out of the good beer.
Wait, you're drinking Miller Lite?
Yeah.
That is the good beer.
It's the good beer in middle of nowhere, New York.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Down in Florida, the good beer is Natural Light.
Natural Light. Is that right?
Yeah.
Growing up, my dad used to drink. The good beer was Miller Genuine Draft.
Oh, MGD.
Yes. The Saturday with having crabs on the deck was Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But my dad was pretty much a teetotaler. He's so funny. Like, he'll come up to Thanksgiving now, and he will occasionally drink a glass of wine. And by wine, this is what my dad drinks for wine at Thanksgiving. The good stuff, Riunite Lambrusco. And he'll, want that. Like, did you get some good wine? All right, so we can read the board here on this. Continuity testing says this sucker is ground. And then when we look and see a tiny little trace coming out of that pad, that means that's going to be some battery data. And the big fat trace is going to be battery positive. So in that case, let's solder some wires and see if we can get some action on DC power supply. And then maybe charge up this battery by remote later.
Dave Rose hating on my beard.
Uh,
I'll tell you what, Dave. I am not walking through 2 feet of snow for a quarter mile just to get some good beer. I will drink the piss.
You could probably walk over to Pam's at Bodywork Needed.
Oh, yeah.
And she would probably hook you up.
Get a nice beer and a back massage.
Yeah, and get Sharon to assemble all of your jobs. It's a real win-win, I think. Okay, let's put some leads on these. So pissed that the gym was closed. What kind of pussy gym? Man, you're the fucking gym. The gym is where the tough guys go that don't give a shit about things like 2 feet of snow. Because they gotta work out. They gotta lift,
doesn't
bro.
The gym have employees?
Yeah, the gym has employees.
Well, they don't want to go there.
Well, the employees don't want to. That's the point of being an employee. You don't really get to do what you want. You're the employee. You're there to make sure that the gym is unlocked so that the bros that want to lift can lift, or else they get cranky and beat their wives. Do you know how many wives are getting beaten right now? I mean, I'm gonna have to go home and beat some kids. I mean, it's bad. You can't.
Jeff.
Yeah, you can't leave the gym closed for 2 days in a row. That's BS. That's some BS.
I'll get on your shoulders. You can lift me.
All right. We do need to get like a little harness in case this happens again. So
like
that
a pulley.
I don't need no pulley. I just need some handles, some duct tape so that I could kind of like wrap you into like a barbell shape for bench press. I don't know. I would be a long way from bench pressing Mark, if ever. Lewis could bench press you right now.
I doubt it.
Yeah, you could. How much do you weigh?
I don't know. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 220.
He could bench press you, which is fucking amazing.
Wow, yeah.
He was pretty happy to realize that he could bench press more than Michael Oberdick.
Oh, yeah?
That made his entire trip to Nebraska, I'll tell you that. I was pretty happy to go in the gym and realize that I could do the same, like his warm-up squat weight was 235, which my previous 1 rep max was 198. So I did 235 for like 2. I thought that was pretty awesome.
198?
Yeah.
You just like add 1 pound every day?
No, it's not like that. It's if you must know, what you do in intermediate programming is you have to figure out what this is math. There's like a whole calculator. This is like PhD working out.
Now I can see why you're so into it, I guess.
You have to figure out what
your nerd exercise.
I am totally, yeah. Like when I show my programming to Lewis, he's like, I what is that? And I'm like, well, you have to, like this entire giant spreadsheet, and you have to figure out you got to do these warm-up reps, and then you got to figure out your 7 RPE, which is obviously the 70% rate of perceived exertion, which has all these rules, and then you're supposed to do like X number of reps of that, and then X number of 8, and then X number of 9, but not 10. Blah blah blah. I think it's fascinating.
Yeah.
It is. Lewis
Yeah,
just goes in there and just be like, let's see how much weight I can lift. And that's pretty much it. All right, so with the DC power supply and prompt to boot, this thing sits there and hangs out at 160 milliamps. And that's it.
You couldn't find tool damage anywhere?
I didn't look on the other side of the board.
I mean, it seems like that could be a resistor knocked off somewhere or something.
Yeah, it does. I guess we should look on the other side of the board.
I guess we should. The likely place is probably somewhere...
Somewhere where we haven't looked yet. All right, let's see. Let's just see if we can, like, detect in DFU or recovery or something like that. Or maybe it's on and it's working just fine. All right. Let's give that a second. Ha! USB device not recognized. Wait, what? It kind of knew something was going on. USB device not recognized. My
awesome.
Favorite.
It's
that
a great sign
great.
for data recovery.
That is great. Why'd you not change the gym on the first day if it mattered so much? Well, the first day it was closed, which was yesterday. I lost a windshield wiper on the way, so I was having to use a $6 gas station snow brush to drive like this. So that was kind of my workout. I was terrified.
How could you text while you were doing that?
Oh, it was hard. I had to drive with my niece so that I could be like, Mark, you better appreciate this. You don't have to sleep in the shop. No, that was pretty nerve-wracking. I mean, but even still, I was pissed that they closed. But today, man, come on, it was like the sun was out by 7 o'clock at night. I benched 350 5 times 3 at 19. Well, 19 is when you have a lot of testosterone, so that doesn't really count. All right, so let's see. We are going to look on the other side of this board and get this board out of here. I kind of think we should get a screen that is more likely to work than this one. See if it actually is doing anything on a screen. All right. It's gonna suck if it's like, oh yeah, just bad charge port. I don't know. Do we even have more of these charge ports? That's gonna be a hunt. A hunt.
I have one at my house.
At your house?
Yeah, I can mail it.
And you know where it is?
Yeah.
Really?
I was cleaning up just the
Did
other
you
day.
make like a shrine to the like days gone by?
No, I just shuddered a little bit.
Well, let's get that off of there. All right, let's try to get this board out. Okay. If you use the Celebrate, you might not have a USB data error. Well, I think it's far easier to just figure out what's wrong with it and make it work. All right. Okay. No sound. What do you mean no sound? I see sound. I think you're full of shit. No sound. All right. How do you get these boards out? I don't remember. I'll just be really careful.
You got 100 people watching.
100 people? Wow. You gotta tell a joke or something, Mark. It's getting boring. All right.
The joke is we're trying to fix an iPod Touch 4.
Let's see. 3:20 a.m. Sound is working fine. Great. I did go over and answer a question. I have to admit this. I answered a question on Lewis's forum. I feel like I have...
Hot CPU?
No, I answered a legitimate question on Lewis's iPhone forum just so that I could...
get some leverage to get him to fix the thing.
No, it was because I wanted him to make my microphone work because I'm tired of hearing complaints. Yeah, fix the microphone. But then we had to use that up with your MacBook questions. Now I'm back to zero. God damn it. Now, I'd hate to have to go answer another please bro over there. That would suck. Can't be doing that. We got to stay strong. No matter how much it kills you to see those questions over there. Oh, it was really funny. Did you see that question? It was one where Jason had said, the guy just wanted to know like the orientation of some chips.
Oh, you answered that one?
I took a picture. It was quality answer.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, this is not trolling. This is genuine helpful advice. By the way, my microphone's not working. And it was really funny because I had already told Lewis, I really want you to fix this microphone. How about you motivate me to answer your questions? And he was like, I'd rather just lose the $15 from the guy than have to answer questions.
How come people that are on Lewis's paid for them can't figure out.
How to download a ZXW tool?
Or just look at the schematic. There's only one ground pin on that LDO. Look at the board. Where's the ground pin? Oh, okay, there it is. And that's opposite from pin 1.
Is that how Please Bros think? I mean, it's 100% Please
Yeah,
Bro.
it's just like a simple, easily solved problem that will sit there and not get solved until somebody just tells him the answer.
Yes, exactly. That's what that's all about. That's why I really can't like be a part of anything like that.
Yeah.
It hurts my heart.
can't
It
either.
hurts my brain.
It's Facebook is bad enough.
Yeah, exactly. I hear you. All right, can you get this board out of here without breaking it in half? I'm like terrified.
No, I cannot.
What kind of noob show is this?
I didn't know that it was possible to do that.
Well, how do you get it out?
I've never gotten it out.
You've never taken the board out of an iPod 4th?
No, I cut it out.
You cut out the board?
Yeah, you replace the back every time you have to take the board out.
You do not. I just stabbed the battery and it just like ejects itself. That's what I always did. Thought that's what everyone did. I don't even know what's under here. I need to stick something under here. How about the IC remover tool? Let's shove that under there.
Does this make you appreciate taking the board out of iPhone 6s now?
Yeah, it does. This is assembly, disassembly. That is not my job.
It's like this is the one example of Apple like.
Oh, this whole thing was a giant fuck you. It was like
Yeah.
as much adhesive as an iPad and as many screws as an iPhone. Yay!
No, but they've since made it easier. Like this.
Yes.
This is like one example of from iPod Touch
Well,
4
I don't know. Have
to
you-
iPod Touch 5.
I've never even looked at an iPod Touch 5 board.
They open like an iPhone and it's easier.
I thought that was the one that had like the home button would like fry off if you didn't realize you had to like push it through the hole or something.
Well, yeah, it's got its traps too.
Okay, so it has it does have booby traps.
But
Nice.
if I had,
No.
to pick which one I want to pull the board out of, I'd go with the iPod Touch 5th.
Okay. All right. I think that I might rip this battery out instead. See if we can blow something up on live stream. Using a metal
Have you-
tool to take out a battery is a great
Have you
idea.
set anything on fire on the live stream yet?
Not on live stream. I did set that iPad Air on fire in
Yeah.
class. That was fun. And then we drilled a big hole in it. And I have the...
You should have streamed that.
It would have been a week. I mean, it was forever. I mean, once we set it on fire, that part was cool. But after I set it on fire, then I drilled the hole out. Then I had to fillet down a donor board to see all the broken traces that I might have broken. Map those all out to make sure they were all still there. And then I had to... then it had the 5 volts, but it would not charge. So then I replaced the PMIC, and then I did all of this work following, diode mode on some CPU data line, and it was a monstrous rabbit hole. But once I drilled the hole in it and set it on fire, then I just really wanted it to work. Holy shit, look at that battery. Whoa! Damn!
Why'd you do that?
Huh? I just wanted to see what it was like. This is the battery that was in this iPod. Ta-da! Look at it. It's like, I mean, it won't even set on fire. So sad. All right, I dare you to lick it.
I was just gonna ask. Do you think it tastes like lithium?
I don't know. Let's find out. Go ahead, do it.
No, I'm good. I've had my disgusting thing for the.
This is the world's least dangerous lithium battery. Man, look at the inside of this. Damn. This thing looks like it might have already been on fire. Look at that. Like, it's just...
Yeah, it looks like shit.
I think when he said that his tech poked something, starting to think I know what it was. Looks cancerous. Yes, it does. Yeah, it is pretty nasty. Pretty nasty. So this should just boot up just fine if we had a
I was
good
going to say,
battery.
what do you think the chances are that iPod Touch 4th just won't boot up
without gas gauge. 100%.
Yeah.
That's what I think right
Yeah.
now. Yeah. So we gotta come up with.
Just use the other power supply and put 2 volts in the gas gauge.
That's probably a good idea. We should. That would be fun to try.
Yeah, see if it works.
DIY gas gauge.
I mean,
Why can't you just bridge gas gauge to
just give gas
To-
gauge
to-
4 volts.
to positive?
Because I've never seen a gas gauge on a battery that was 4 volts.
How many times have you measured gas gauge voltage?
Many.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
When I'm going through a stack of batteries that I have that I don't know their state, that's one of the first things I check both positive and gas gauge voltage, and if either one of those are 0, then I just toss it. But if they're both, if gas gauge is 2 volts and battery is at least 3, then I'll try to revive them.
I see. Come on out, mofo. I mean, I really think that if this was a repair, I would never take it. But if I did, I would just rather just rip this board out and put a new board in than have to like care so much here. Like,
Did you title the live stream "Watch Jessa Struggle to Remove iPod Touch 4th Gen"?
all right, somebody wants to know, how do you check gas gauge voltage? Well, you
With the multimeter.
get a multimeter, put it on the V with a line over it, and
One probe on battery negative, 1 probe on gas gauge.
what is this like stuck on? I don't even remember what's under here at all.
You take out all the screws?
Nope. Is that melted? I can't tell. Alright, what's the holdup over here? Wait, what are you stuck on? I wonder if there's like some kind of like adhesive that somebody stuck under here.
Later, Chris.
Too boring. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, he's got work to stream.
That's pretty funny. Not bullshit. All right, find out what the voltage is on that, because that's like, why is that like not plugged in?
Why is what not plugged in?
This one, I'm trying to charge it up.
Because somebody didn't plug it in.
Okay. I think in about 5 minutes I'm going to switch over to this 6S because I can't stand this. There's like a piece of tape under there.
We got 3.7.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
so
plug it in.
close to being good enough.
All right. You want to charge it with DC power supplies, and then we'll just stick it in here and see what it does with a good battery?
Let me see what it does with this.
It did like,
Oh.
it would flicker around.
Yeah. I mean, that might be normal for a battery this low.
Well, it's been doing that, and then it went to 0. Probably because the gas gauge on that battery is fucked.
Is it though?
I don't know. Why don't you measure the gas gauge and find out? Tell us what the gas gauge is on that nice, beautiful 3.7 volt battery.
0.
0! Great! All right, do we have another candidate? Do we have another battery? Here's a battery. See what you can do with that. What's in here? Wow, nice, beautiful white iPhone 4S box. What would cause incorrect battery reporting besides battery calibration? Anything on the board side of the gas gauge line?
Which one was,
The middle is gas gauge.
huh?
Huh, what does that mean? Huh.
Just, which one was positive?
The one close to the long, skinny part?
Okay. That was negative.
What does that mean?
So,
So the negative is positive, and the positive is...
hold on. Let me just try this one. Alright, so the negative is the one all the way to the left. So if I put my probe on that one, and then the one all the way to the right, I get 0. And the one in the center, I get 0. But if I put my negative on the center, and the positive on the right, I get 2.1.
All right, then look at it under the microscope and see which one you think is positive.
No, I mean, I just confirmed with this one over here that gives me like the 3 volts. Yeah, it's strange.
How long have I been sitting here trying to just remove?
It feels like all night.
I think so.
How? Well, you've lost 7 people.
Yeah, because it's too boring.
Duh.
Duh. I'm surprised there's any people at all. Who wants to watch this shit? That's the like downside of live streaming. Like it's you can't, like if this was an actual video, this is too boring for anyone to possibly watch.
Yeah, and
that
you can't
might
predict
possibly
how terrible your content is gonna be.
That's right. Oh, somebody like made a comment like, that video was like 15 minutes entertaining and then like the rest was total shit. Oh, I am aware.
Oh yeah.
I can't make real life like entertaining for you. That's just not how live streaming works. You know, the benefit of it is that you know that you're not getting sold a bill of goods. This is actually how this repair went. And you can feel good the next time you just rip an iPod 4th generation board, just comes out like butter.
Shit.
Like, I'm not willing to tear it, like, at this point, you know? Like, I'm not going to fuck it up. I'm not going to get my workout from ripping this board out. I've given up on working out for today, and I'm not about to start now with an iPod 4th generation board. So close. Come on, mofo. What are you stuck on? I'm gonna be really pissed when I see like a big fat piece of like command stick to your wall, double-sided adhesive tape under here. And then I'm gonna snap the board in half and rage. Oh. Oh, look, there's a screw still there.
You did it!
Yay! Yay! Look at that, Matt. Number of iPod 4 attempts I've tried. 1. Number that have been successful. 0. Haven't touched those little pieces of crap since then. All right, now let's look and see.
He's got a fucking mountain of MacBooks to work on. I would never touch an iPod.
Yeah, no, I use a fume extractor. I got the big dog right under here. Use it every day, constantly.
Yeah,
It's on right now.
She got the really quiet model.
That's right.
It's the same one I got.
Do you have any fume extractor whatsoever at home?
Yeah, my mom got me the same one.
Really?
Yeah.
Go, Mom. She
She's-
loves you. She's trying to...
She has invested in my YouTube channel. She got me that camera too. I didn't buy that.
Really?
Yeah.
That was actually to film your newborn daughter. It wasn't really for YouTube. I don't know if you are aware of that.
No, it was for YouTube. She wants a return on investment.
Okay. So are you going to like sell her some ad space or something?
No, she just said when I hit like Lewis level subscribers, then she gets like 10%.
Wow, 10%.
Yeah.
All right. I don't even remember what that one's for. Oh, that's the camera. Look at this goddamn adhesive. That's some heavy-duty bullshit right there. Gave me such a hard time, fucker. Why is there a solder ball there? Okay, I don't see... Oh, here's a little ride-along TriStar from earlier today. Let's look under here and make sure that everything is normal looking. At least these I'm pretty sure they just peel off. Don't you think? Yes.
Revive the True M says iPad Rehab does not believe in fume extractor in all caps.
Yes, I do.
And then not JK. Just in case you thought he was kidding, he's not.
I absolutely believe in a fume extractor. Here it is, right here. Right here. Extracting fumes. Whoops, can't see it because we're not on thing. Right here. Can you see it? And it kicks on right there. Hello. I totally believe in fume extraction. But I also believe in not making things too loud. I mean, it's one thing if they're just too boring. Is this a sponge? Is this like some sea monkey larvae? Oh, nobody can see that.
No, that's the, like...
Sea monkey larvae, that's what it is. That's what the problem is. This guy put it in water. Sea monkeys laid eggs in it. That's their little egg mass. Then somebody stuck a piece of Wrigley's and sewed it all back up closed.
No, Grandma.
That's what it is, man. I mean, come on, look at that. Pictures don't lie.
Thermal sponge.
That's gross. That's just disgusting. I mean, it looks like some kind of jellyfish. This is like SpongeBob's son.
Taste it.
You taste it.
No.
Okay, no. I will not taste sea monkey larvae that I found in some random
Why
iPod.
isn't Louis Rossman in this chat? He is. His name's Fixing Mom.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, where's Fixing Mom tonight? I think Fixing Mom is at home petting her cats. All right. As last I heard, Fixing Mom didn't have any electricity.
Oh my god. People stop asking me what temperature I use on YouTube.
All of them.
I quit saying it in the videos.
Wait, you used to say it? That was your first mistake.
No, what I would say is the temperature I'm using is hot
enough, not
but
too
not
hot.
too hot.
Yeah, that's what I say. It's my answer, man. That's what I've been saying for a long time. Even in the course. Hot enough, but
I'm
not
just
too.
going to start saying like 420 degrees.
Yeah, and then
every
you're not going to answer if it's Celsius or Fahrenheit. 420 degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit.
420 CF.
Kelvin. That's what you should do. You should just say it
yes.
in Kelvin,
Yes.
and then just say use your brain after that. That would be pretty funny.
I'm gonna steal that. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's what you're gonna do?
Yeah, from now on, any temperature in my videos are gonna be
In Kelvin. All right. Yeah, so there's no physical damage on this board at all. So that's probably, if it's not recognized by iTunes, that's either going to be because it needs gas gauge, or it's going to have a just charge port is fucked up. But let's see. That charge port has definitely seen some better days.
All people can see are your fingers.
Well, yeah, I see some green. I think all the pins are there though. All right, let's kind of clean that out a little bit. Clean that out. All right, where's the other board? Why don't you work on the other one?
No, that's...
What?
I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, you kind of did.
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that at like 2 o'clock we were like, how about you fix those iPod 4th generations? You were like, yeah.
I mean, this one's done.
That's the known good.
Yeah, exactly. It works fine.
But except for the part where it doesn't. Are you charging a battery or what?
No, there's...
Why can't it charge that? Here, make it
yeah.
get to like 3.8. Come on.
Sorry. Whoops.
Remember, class starts again at 8:30, so
Shit. We gotta go.
yeah, we gotta make this happen. We gotta stop fucking around. We gotta get serious about these iPod 4th generations. We gotta get serious right now.
The only good that could come from this video is somebody with an iPod Touch 4th generation
Throws it away.
watching it and
Just
being like,
throws
I'm
it
not
away.
sending it to those fuckers.
Yes. Yes. These noobs. I'd rather send it to Wild PCS, where they might. You know what? That's the sad thing. That Wild PCS is probably far more accomplished in iPod 4th generation than we are.
I recommend Rossman Repair Group for
Oh,
any-
they are great, and they love it, and they're such quick
Yeah.
turnaround.
I mean, Jason has recovered so many iPod Touch.
So many. It's like all he does. He got a clean room just for the iPod 4th generation Touch hard drive. He can desolder the hard drive off the board. He built this little thing that will spin it he'll just take the plates right out of the chip, and then he'll just spin it in his little laminar flow hood. I do not think there's ever been an iPod 4th generation Touch that he couldn't solve. However, having just said that, I am also 100% sure that the last person to work on that one was Jason. And that's how long it's been here. In fact, it was one of Jason's like, hey, Jason, can you do a charge port? And then he was like, I fucked up. I'll throw it in a box. We'll look at it later in 2017.
Well, you should revisit Jason's charge.
Let's send it to Jason. That's what we should do.
Yeah.
Yes. Because Rossman Repair Group is they have never had one that they could not solve. All right, so now we've got the board out. All right, what are my choices in battery here? So I've got this one. This is one of my choices for battery. This is Exhibit A. This one?
Yeah, that one's great. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's 0 volts. The only way you can get a reading is if you measure from positive to gas gauge.
That's quite low. All right, let's see if we can force charge this one. Let's force charge this baby.
It takes a charge better if you heat it up.
Sounds dangerous.
No, it's not.
Wasn't Christy saying that she couldn't find a smoke alarm in here like yesterday? I know she bought a fire extinguisher. I mean, I don't know why, but
Did she put it somewhere that people?
yeah, she put it. Yeah, it was really funny because of the last course when they were doing the sex toy mini data recovery, and it was like, you know, in every single group they do the same thing, and every time I'm like, well, nobody's ever tried that before. I don't know. And they all are like, well, I think it would work. I don't know. If you want to try it, I mean, I don't know. And then it turns on, but they have a lot of them have this sort of like bona fide moment of fear. And so the last group, I went and got the fire extinguisher, and I didn't say anything. I just like walked over, and I picked up the fire extinguisher, and I came up to them like, all right, so we're ready to try it, and they were like, yes. And then they're all, and then it's hilarious.
Find ways to keep it interesting for you.
I do. Oh my God, I cannot watch that movie again. The last time Jason was at the course, he's only been at a handful of courses, and he was just like, "Oh, for the love of God!" Like he was. But it was funny because then every group feels like no one's ever thought of this before. This could be really cool. And then when it turns on, they're like, "Well, how does everybody else solve it?" Oh, exactly the same way. That's the same. Everybody finds their way to that same exact thought process. Oh, I should stop telling them that. If I was a nice person,
now you just told everybody.
I didn't tell anybody how to do it or even what it is. I mean, I think half the stream has probably come to the class. Raise your hand if you have solved the iPad mini sex toy data recovery. And also, if you have, did you think that your class was the only one to have come up with such a crazy solution? We'll see. Well, Dave Rowe solved it, right? Didn't he? Who else is on here?
Dave Rowe is the only student I've seen commenting.
And I think he left after I told everybody that he asked me for a cock today, which is true. It is a true story. All right, so let's stick a wire here.
Let's see if we can explode this battery.
You think this battery's... when was the last time you blew up a battery?
Never.
Really? I don't believe that.
I've never punctured a battery.
Neither have I, but I assumed you had.
I came into work the next day and saw the burn marks in the carpet after Hans did it.
What happened? Like, how did that happen?
I think it was an iPhone. It was definitely involved prying the battery out rather than pulling on the adhesive tabs.
Oh, in an iPhone?
Yeah.
I would think that's pretty hard to do.
Well, you should ask him how hard it is.
Yeah, I will. My favorite exploding battery came from, a guy that just sent a picture, and he's like, he's kind of like, this happened, and...
Dave Rowe does not remember the sex toy mini, and also he's still here.
He absolutely solved the sex toy mini, because I remember it was Ronnie's, he was in Ronnie's class, and Ronnie...
Actually, there's a picture over there on the wall of David Rowe and Ronnie working.
Yeah, there is. Right there. Yeah, I'm looking at David Rowe right now. And he's like, that's within 24 hours of solving the sex toy mini. Yeah, there's like a video of that class working on the sex toy mini.
There is, yeah. I filmed that.
You did?
Yeah, I was the cameraman.
I did not know that.
Riding around on the scooter. Or was that a different class?
No, that was the same class. The hoverboard?
Yeah.
That was good times. Fixing hoverboards. Why doesn't anybody bring anything like interesting like that to class anymore?
Yeah, I don't know. Why is it always just a box full of things that I have no idea what's wrong with it?
That's not true.
Well,
here's how you know if the course week is going to be
that.
good or not. Oh, where you're like, okay, and what did you guys bring? And they'll like list them. You're like, okay, we can fix that. You'll be able to fix that. You'll probably be able to fix that. Rabbit hole. Okay, yep, that one. No. And then there'll be one guy where you'll be like, rabbit hole, rabbit hole, rabbit hole. Oh, Jesus.
And then there's always one guy that just has brings like 5 pounds of boards.
Uncatalogued, all still in the housing. I don't know what's wrong with them. They're just in my dead pile. The worst was when the CPR folks came. They had to ship us boxes.
Oh, jeez.
And it was just like, these aren't even from my store. I have no idea.
If there's anybody out there considering coming to the course, if you do, bring things that you have some idea of what's wrong with them to fix.
Triage them ahead of time, get the boards out, label everything, and
You don't want to spend your time in class taking.
Yeah, you don't want to have to do that. Yeah, that then you'll get it. But the more you bring, the better, I think.
Yeah.
Everybody regrets it when they're like, "Oh, I've got one. Oh, it's back at the shop. Why didn't you bring it?"
There's always a couple of people.
There's
every
all,
class.
and every class I send an email that's like, bring everything. Like, bring as much as you can. And I tell them in the email, you know, to categorize it and know what the fault is. Like, use known good parts, figure it out, know what's wrong with it.
And then they ignore you.
And then they ignore me. Yes. Not always. Every now and then.
Crank that up to 11.
It doesn't go to 11. It only goes to 10.
You need a better DC power supply if it only goes to 10.
Yeah, I guess so. That's not accepting any force charge. I don't know. That goes to 10. It goes to 11.
Yeah, it does.
No, nothing
I
happens.
bet it goes to 30.
All right, yeah. This battery is unchargeable.
Either that or we don't really understand batteries.
Oh, let's see. No, that's...
Using your Amtech flux.
I'm using what... Yes. Amtech with a K. All right, let's try this. Well, that's the sound of Lewis.
Oh, Alex Canny's here.
What up, Alex?
Oh, yeah. He suggests people bring all their LSDs for me to train them on.
Oh.
For your information, Alex Canty, I always demo one of my own repairs, and then
I almost had you demo
have
one
that.
today. That would have been a really sad one because it was a board that had that short, and we found the short, got the board working, and it had long screw damage, but it didn't tear the traces. If it had, that was going to be the demo. But at the end, I was like, you know, so we fixed it, yay! And the guys, and I'm like, so what's the passcode? He's like, oh, I have no idea. You just have that board. And so now here it is, and it says good, and now it's like a diode mode measurement board. So that would have sucked if you had done long screw trace repair on that board.
Did Jonas tell you that he has done long screw damage repair successfully?
That's why I wanted him to do the hard thing, not the long jumper thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's why.
How many students have we had that have before coming?
I know, but he was very good. You could tell
long
on day
screw?
one where he had to do the 6S backlight micro jumper. So I gave him 3 ways to do it: hard, easy, and figure it out. And so he was like, I think I can do that. And like 90 seconds later, he had successfully placed the jumper, and I was like, all right, so that's good. So that's why I gave him today the air that has just like someone took sandpaper to that board, because I thought he could navigate around the ground and it would be a good challenge.
I think he should try a 6 long screw, not one of ours, because I don't want to fix it. But
I'm sure that like there's always a student that has brought a.
Yeah, if one comes up, I think we should have him do that.
Alrighty. Let's see. Are you even reading? I only do long screw damage for data recovery, typically.
Oh yeah, that would be fucking wonderful. You just
then it's not really long screw damage. It's just called
blindfolded.
Yeah, it's called run a trace over to make it have image, and you're done.
I could just have my daughter do those.
That would be funny. All right, I'm gonna definitely give up on this battery. All right, how's the other battery going?
All
right, what's the voltage on that battery now? And is that it? We only have these 2 batteries, and plus the one that looks like sweet tarts melted on it.
I mean, who knows? How is it even possible to know the answer to that?
part of me kind of feels like if we go hunt in the back, that we'll be able to find a better iPod 4th generation battery than either one of these.
Yeah, and I mean, and we'll still be here when class starts tomorrow. It'll be easy. We won't have to drive anywhere.
Yeah, that's a great idea. We won't have to worry about the snow.
Still at 3.78 volts. That's not happening.
3.78.
Just accept the fact that we live streamed just complete garbage.
All right, let's. How about this? Let's live stream something else. Here, let's look at this.
This isn't so much us fixing things as it is unwinding after class.
Yes, that is true. So, how was your day?
Yeah, it was full of rabbit holes. Thank you.
Mine was, let's see, what did we do? We had. Well, the thing that I didn't like about that kid, which, by the way, this kid is 16 years old. It was hilarious on the first day of class where, it was introductions. I mean, this is the kid that's doing iPhone 6 long screw damage.
5S.
Oh, it was a 5S. All right, fair enough. But he's on day one. He's like, I've been fixing phones for 3 years. And I thought he looked like he was, 24 or something. He looked young. So I said, fixing phones for 3 years since you were 9? And he was like, no, since I was 13. What? I wonder if he's really 16. Maybe the whole thing's a giant troll.
He's been trolling you the whole time.
I don't think so, though. And then, but he walked over to this guy, the guy from Sweden, this guy's been working on this short for a long time, and he is systematically going up the board from the bottom to the top, and the kid just walks over and goes, "It's that one." So he like robbed him of the satisfaction of finally figuring out his own.
5202?
Yeah, and we'd already done one of those, so that was painful.
Yeah, that kid is impressive for being 16. I mean, he's
Yeah.
one of the better students we've had, and he's definitely the youngest.
Is he the youngest?
We've had
a couple of teenagers, but a lot of them are just like, yeah, my mom made me come
The
here.
youngest I can think of before him was 17.
Yeah, but we had like the local kid who was in high school,
Oh, that's right, yeah.
and he did great. He did really well.
Wait, I thought wasn't he the 17-year-old?
Yeah, he was 17, and then we had like way back at the beginning, there was like a 17-year-old back in November 2016. All right, let's see what happens if I get this battery out. Oh, this battery is beat to hell. Damn. That's bad. Okay. What are we talking about? All right, let's see if this thing can at least charge. Look how easy this board comes out. What a rip. Let's see if I can get this battery. So my favorite battery blowing up story is one where the guy sent me a picture and it was just a fire. And then I get the phone and the name of the shop was Crackhead Repairs. I thought that was hilarious. Crackhead Repairs with the really, really blown up battery. Good times. It would be really funny if of all times, right now, I blew up an iPhone battery. And it was an iPod 4th generation touch battery. That would be some good times.
Are you still working on that thing?
Nope.
I don't believe you.
Why don't you just look at this like next up 6S data and see if there's anything interesting?
All right. Where is it?
It is.
Is it this one?
I need to focus. I don't want to blow up a battery.
I'm gonna say it's this one.
Yeah, probably that one. Okay. All right, let's see what this battery voltage is. Let's see. 3.778. Sounds great.
No, that's not high enough.
It's totally fine, I'm sure.
Wrong.
Wrong. Well, I don't see why this wouldn't be able to charge it. At least as well as that other one.
All right. Well.
Did you get an easy one?
I mean, everything looks pristine.
Great, easy. So just put a screen on it, it'll work. What's the hardest data recovery you've ever done?
The one that I just solved this week, that was that no touch that I've had for forever.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
I put a lot of time into that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And then to like get the very next one, you know, to like see a pattern that you still have, that makes it really hard to give up on all these rabbit holes.
Yeah, I know.
That was probably a stupid repair. God damn it. All right, let's see if this board can charge with its corroded charge port. Yeah, I can charge 67. Woo! All right, let's see if I can dig up a screen. Let's see. Which one of these screens knows how to turn on? How about this one? All right, so that's charging at 67%, which I think is, or 0.67 amps, which is pretty good. Let's put a screen on it.
All right, well, this one's going to be TriStar.
Well, we're doing TriStar tomorrow, so that could be, we did not do a TriStar no power.
Yeah.
So let's do that. Does it pull, did you check what it pulls?
I did not. Was just making my prediction.
Oh, I see.
I will check.
We have not, that's what I was looking for today, and we just had a like VCC main short after main short after main short. And it's funny how you have your like favorite caps. Like I had forgotten that my favorite is invisible chestnut damage, which I've seen before, and now it's definitely my favorite. Okay, let's see if it can show me anything on that screen. Let's plug it back in. Now it's only consuming 0.1 with a screen attached. So let's see if that is a poor connection to the charger or what. Nope, still does that. So let's see if that is because the screen is attached. So we'll take it back off. What did it pull?
Like 60, 70, 100, 180, 230, 0. 60, 70, 90, 180, 150, 200, 0.
Software corruption.
Well, that's great for data recovery.
That's great for data recovery.
people still watching this?
I'm sure not.
Oh, you've lost 7 more.
Well, it's because it's boring as shit. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Let's see what's going on in the chat. Did I read any of this? Let's see. Jesse, what soldering sick ion you use? Part def, please type. No. Try one of those 9202 chargers I got for you. Yeah, we got a bunch of those laying around. Do they charge up? I don't think we could do those. I don't think anything does. I don't think even we do iPod Touch fourth generation. Customer, the battery won't charge. That's right. Just give it 3.7. Oh, I gave it a lot more than that. Oh, we already did that. We already hooked it up to DC power supply, and it would fake detect. So we're troubleshooting whether or not it requires the gas gauge line, which comes from the battery.
You need another camera that like points over towards your power supply and multimeter.
I know. I'm aware. Oh. So the right to repair bill failed? Not really. I mean, it failed to progress in Nebraska, which is probably a weak state to try to pass a law that requires you to legislate businesses when that's not really a red state kind of thing to do.
Yeah, and it was also more of a red tape failure than a like.
Yeah, I think the primary reason that it failed was that the Nebraska people got wind that this was a controversial thing. And honestly, I think that they felt, because of their unicameral legislature, where there's the 8 of us, plus the rest of the senators that were not on that committee, I think that they felt that they didn't really have the time or the inclination to give this apparently super controversial bill the thought that it would really require in order to be confident in either passing it or saying no. So they kind of looked for a way to get out of that. And for them, they just kind of said, look, there's a shit ton of people here. 5 of them are from Nebraska. Everyone else thinks this is such a big deal that they traveled here from, all over the country. So that tells us that this is maybe not a state issue. It is a state issue, but they felt that they kind of could use maybe this deserves federal attention, i.e., is there any way to kind of get this off my plate? Is there any way that I can kind of get out of having to make this decision? Because I think they were afraid that if Nebraska said, yeah, sure, sounds fine, pass, that then potentially the federal government or the Copyright Office or somebody could sue the state of Nebraska and say, hey, you really weren't allowed to do that. And then the state of Nebraska would have to pay legal fees to defend themselves. And that's expensive, and that would be passed on to taxpayers. So I think that they kind of just wanted to say, we don't want to go first. We don't want to be the ones to have to sit here and hash all this out. We don't really care that much about it. If everybody else passed it, we would pass it. But we're not going to be the ones to sort of break ground here. And we think you're just here because you think that we're a pushover state, that you can just kind of boss us around, and we're not doing it. I think that's kind of how it went. So I think that to be like the first state to really kind of, put a a flag in the sand and say, we believe in this and we're going to do it, it would have to be a blue state. Blue states in general would just be more naturally supportive of the overall idea. Let's see.
You don't think red states want to stand up to big business?
I think red states like small businesses, but
yeah.
I don't think that they like I think they can't get past the idea that it's distasteful to force, they're for small business. So they don't like the idea of saying, we're going to mandate that businesses have to provide information to others. Doesn't feel right to them. So they're just not going to, they don't want to do that. All right. You're supposed to be reading all that. I can't read all that.
I read it all. There's nothing there.
Jordan Wires, tips on getting off the HDMI ports on the PS4 boards.
Use hot air.
Yeah, heat it up, make it hot. Doesn't one have to try to cause a battery to fail in such fashion? I guess so.
Yes, it is because of your 858D $60 hot air station. That is why it's difficult. Yes.
Oh. A heat gun on one side and hot air station on the opposite side. That's pretty funny. All right, so this, let's see what it's doing now. So it was initially, when I first connected it, it was, I'm gonna solder this and solder it again.
Oh my God, are you still working on that?
No, I'm not. Just hanging out.
Jesus.
Trying to decide when we want to drive home in the snow.
Like 14 minutes ago.
Yeah, pretty much. Board's getting hot. Board is getting hot. Board is getting hot.
Chad Tippett is asking, how did the hand-delivered phone in Nebraska go? Did she show up?
She did show up. That was a great moment. It was part of my testimony was telling them, hey, you know, I have a phone here from somebody that lives in Nebraska, in Lincoln, Nebraska. I called her up. She was super thrilled to take off work and come out to the hearing. She wanted to testify, and she didn't get a chance to testify, which really stinks because of time. But I said, you know, hey, Kelly, are you here? She waved her hand. At the end of my 3 minutes, I walked back and gave her a big hug and gave her phone. And since then, she has, you know, sent me a nice note, and it was great. Like, it was a really fun moment, and I really liked being able to do that.
Somebody farther up asked if you and Lewis are planning to attend any other right to repair things.
There are no other public hearings. That's why we went to this one. But yes, we will go lobby for sure. So we will show up in New York, and we may show up in Massachusetts. I'm not sure.
But you can't stream it.
We were talking about this last night, where you can't stream private conversation. But I've thought about what would happen if I just was having a meeting with a senator and asked if they minded if I recorded the conversation, and in the conversation just ask them, what if the lobbyists that have approached you from the opposition said, and then kind of indirectly be able to hear what they said and respond to that. But I'm not sure how that would go over. So I don't know if we're going to try to do that or not. But it would be what you're supposed to do, which is closed door meetings where you can have a chance to really talk to people with sufficient time to answer their questions and make a reasonable statement. I liked it better when this was at 0.65.
I liked it better when it was back in that box. Just put it back in the box. We'll revisit it next March.
I really need, another charge port, I think, to kind of rule that out.
Yeah, totally.
I'm going to see if I thought I felt some heat on the board, so I think I will check on that. Let's check on that. Oh, this keeps coming off. Like, that's not on there at all.
How did you meet Lewis?
How did I meet Lewis? I had known of Lewis back in the days where repair people would talk on the eTech Parts Facebook page. That kind of became a bit of a watering, a water cooler for the community. And then there really was no sense of community like there is now. So at the time, I really felt isolated, and everyone did. There wasn't that sense of community. And then eTech Parts, back before they went to shit, under their original owner, was a great company. And they built the sense of the repair community. And so they were the ones that were the sponsors of the first CTIA Wireless Repair Expo, which was Michelle James's gig. I mean, if not for Michelle James, I would have never met Louis Rossman in person. Isn't that funny? And so I went to the Wireless Repair Expo, and Louis did as well. And I had, kind of seen some of his comments. I was really largely unaware of his YouTube channel at the time. And he had seen my comments, and he knew that there was some mom in upstate New York. And he later said that, he had kind of had like some like, I need to up my game if moms, if some moms in upstate New York are doing board repair out of the dining room. And then we met at the Bellagio shindig hosted by eTech Parts, and it was at the time I had never met in person another microsolderer, so it was this really cool moment where it felt like I had met my twin brother, and it was awesome. And then after that, he needed advice about a girl, and then we started talking every day after that. So that's kind of how I met him. All right. Now we're back up to point 1. Let's see. Yeah, Miguel, I met you at CTIA. Yeah, same night, not Miguel Brito. Same room, same night that I met Louis. I met Miguel. I met Dave Takushi that night. I met a lot of people that night that really started making the repair. Hey, it's back up to 0.67. That really made it start to feel like a repair community. This battery's going to charge. All right, now I'm going to tape it so it doesn't move out of that position. It's charging.
Holy shit. How'd you do that?
I did it with magic. Let's see. Who else did I meet? Who did you meet at the first time you went to a conference that you had seen online and stuff?
Lauren Nunley.
I met Lauren Nunley.
Was all the iFixit guys.
Mm-hmm.
James, Steven Spink.
Mm-hmm. I remember how I met Steven Spink. This was funny because this came up the other day in the Shop Talk forum where he was talking about, having met, people in the community. I remember meeting Steven Spink, where Steven Spink came to the course. I didn't know him, and I didn't even know, who was in the course or whatever. And that was the July course where it was before my time. It was before your time. It was when it was me and Louis, and we were doing back-to-back courses. And this was when all of this lived in my garage. Oh shit, am I getting in trouble? Let's see. How is your cat? No, we're fine. What was the other thing he said? Oh, no, he's asking you? Tell me it says, how is your cat?
He says, how's Jess's cat?
He did not.
No, he wants to know what was the thing that I figured out on the MacBook that, I was like, I don't want to talk about it. Just forget I ever asked you about any of this.
Oh, that, yeah. I think you should tell him right now on live stream. Tell him on live stream. That's really funny. What is this super chat thing? No, that's dumb. Nobody's gonna do that. What is this? I thought he did all that already. So Steven Spink, it was when the course was in the hotel, and it was really, really, really exhausting. And I remember getting to the end of that week, and this was when we were still figuring out how to teach and how to handle everyone and all these repairs, and and we had 12 people instead of 8, so it was really overwhelming, and we were fixing stuff at night, and we got to the end, we got to the Friday, and I remember just never having felt more exhausted ever. And I remember that Sonny and Jason volunteered to clean up the whole room because we had to start all over again on Monday. And I remember
so horrible.
Yeah, it was tough. And I can remember just thinking that Sonny and Jason, it was the nicest thing anybody ever did. And so Lewis and I went over to the Chili's, and I remember drinking 2 giant margaritas and just was ready to die. And then we walked, and we were reading the evaluations. So then we were finally done, where we're officially done with a week. And you know how exhausting. I mean, it's exhausting now. You know. And then we walked out of the Chili's, and then we're walking back to the hotel, and this guy comes up in the parking lot, and he's got, and this is his classic look. He's got his baseball cap on sideways, and he walks straight up to me and Lewis, and he's like, "Hey." And I have no idea. This is not we know all the students that are now. We've just said goodbye. They've all left. So this guy in the parking lot, and my thought that went in my head was, "Shit, this guy wants to sell us some drugs."
No, he just wanted to offer you some.
I don't know, but it was this guy wants to. Lewis, do you remember meeting Steven Spink? That's what we were talking about. This was after the first July course.
Oh, he's here. I just told him we're live streaming. Log back in under Fixing Mom.
Yeah. I told Mark about Fixing Mom. You never changed the title. Oh, shit. This title is just going to be...
Does it change in mid-stream?
Don't watch this.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously.
Watch Jessa struggle to remove an iPod Touch 4th.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's make it be... watch Jessa struggle to... What? To do...
Somebody just said, "Fuck you, girl."
Fuck you, girl. I was Fixing Mom. I thought it was the only one that got that. What did Mark do to fix that? I will tell him. Do you need to leave? Do you need to save yourself?
No, fuck you. No, don't tell him.
Make him guess.
Don't tell him. If you guess, I'll admit it. You have to guess how dumb I was being.
Right. Okay. I'll tell him.
I'll give you a hint. It was a lot of hubris.
Wait. Mark can't tell which side of an LCD connector is which. Oh my fucking God, tell me that is what it is.
See remote desktop in right now.
What? No. Ah! Oh, he's gonna look up the ticket.
I didn't put it in there.
He's too embarrassed.
I didn't put it in there. I'm never gonna tell you.
Is that it? Is that the right one? No, that's not. That one's done, so it's not that one. Type in connector.
So is everybody watching us react to Lewis remote desktoping to your computer and trying to find the MacBook that I couldn't solve and then finally figured it out?
Mark did not consult the board view before beginning the repair. And he's had a couple beers. And he'd like you to know that his taint is fine.
I know Lewis is worried about the
I know he is.
taint situation.
That's right. I have not ever seen this board, so I'm not 100% sure that this is the story. But here's what I understand. Mark looks at a MacBook board that Christy has already spent a week on, and the screen LCD cable is clearly damaged on one end. And Mark sees that the fuse is blown. Mark replaces the fuse, plugs it in, fuse blows again. He recognizes that, and Christie's replaced the connector. He recognizes that the LCD cable has damage, but when he looked at the schematic, and not the board, he never looked at the board view, he looks at the schematic, he says it seemed minor, and on the schematic, you don't know the orientation of the connector. So he read the area that was damaged as like the 3v3 line, I guess, image.
There's like this giant, huge cap at the end that is apparently on the 3v3 line and not backlight line.
Yeah, so he sees the giant cap and he goes, that must be backlight, so the other end is image, so that's not, I don't need to worry about that. I need to get backlight back. I don't need to worry about this sort of minor damage on this connector. So he plugs in the connector after doing the fuse, and no backlight, fuse blows again. Another fuse blows again. All right, go find the short. He can't find a short. He changes the LED driver. He talks to Lewis, and Lewis says you need to change 9160 or whatever.
9701.
9071.
Which is the LED driver.
Right, which is the LED driver, which he's already changed. So Mark's like, okay, Q9701. So he goes and changes some Q9701. No change. Keeps putting in new fuses. Keep blowing. Working on this all day long. And then that night, just, I don't know, and feedback trace, and Lewis had a suggestion about maybe the feedback trace is not there, and therefore it's causing the driver to switch too much, and that's, so it was like, there's no way, like, there's no path to ground. How is this blowing the fuse? And then finally, this morning, Mark is, then finally, today, this morning, Mark opens up the board view and goes, So the janky end of the connector, which, I mean, come on, like, oh my God, of course that's the backlight. It's going to correspond to the burn-up part of the board where the back...
It didn't seem that bad. The only time I work on MacBooks is when I'm up here. So this is like my 5th one. Okay, now I know any damage to that fucking cable at all, and that's your problem.
All right. No, Jessa's office is 300 miles up. Do you share the same office with Jessa? No, I would never let him eat peas on the seat.
No.
So,
he shared the same bed with me, though.
I'm sure you guys did. I'm sure
it was the
big spoon and little spoon all night long. So that's what happened. So Mark failed to look at the board view and failed to recognize that the obviously damaged LCD connector cable was, why is it blowing? Why is it blowing? Every time I put this in, backlight fuse blows. What's up with that? So, but I get it. I mean, I can't say anything. On this very live stream, it took me 45 minutes to do this. Like, not kidding. At least 45 minutes. It took me 45 minutes to do this job.
Yeah, you should have checked the fucking board view first.
I should have, got a heat gun out. This was stuck down here. I did not want to break this board in half. It's for data. It took me 45 minutes to just pull it out. 45 minutes. So, I don't know. Everybody fucks up. All right, now let's see if this is detected by iTunes as normal. It's tech, motherfucker. It made a sound. Did you hear that? That bitch is on.
That bitch is on.
That bitch is on. Lewis, what are you going to do in 10 years when all you will get is like 30 resistors in one big square? Fix drones? Or something else? Yeah, man, look at this. Watch.
Wait, how do
Look at
Lewis's
this.
4chan trolls know that he's, like, in your YouTube chat?
They don't.
There weren't trolls here until Lewis showed up.
What trolls? We weren't. Did you?
He already
did
banned somebody.
Lewis ban somebody?
Yeah.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see what kind of banning trolls.
No, it was the guy.
Oh, you know
that
what he
was like,
did for
"Fuck
me?
that
This
bitch."
was cool. He like set it up so that like, all these keywords will go to spam. So if you say I don't know,
Oh.
stupid retarded dick, fat bitch, all of that goes to spam.
So if they repeat anything that we say.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta do that on your chat. This is on, man. This is working.
It does sound like it.
Listen, I play a little song. Jingle bells, jingle bells.
All you got to do now is just find a good screen. That's it.
Let's go to eBay and get a pink one. All right, now I want to put a screen on it. I got to do it. I got to put a screen on it. So is it cool to just throw these screens on these iPod touches? All right, which one of these screens do you think might work? Oh, maybe we have one. Go check. See if we have one. And please let it be pink.
Let me check in the
iPod Touch, iPod 4th. It's the one with the dust on it.
No, I'm not seeing. Wait.
I am banning trolls.
Oh my god.
Wait, is there one? Yes! 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 I'm so excited. Where's it
Found
from?
it.
Wow. Oh.
Here, you keep the box with it.
In case it's defective, I got to do an RMA.
Yeah, I mean, we got like 3 more.
Really?
Yeah.
Are any of them pink?
These are IG boxes too.
This is like weight copy. It's like heavy. It's like this is like the size of a sandwich. This is some BS. Oh, this is some BS. All right.
Jessa, it's getting late.
I know that. I am a professional, and I'm gonna make this iPod 4th generation touch great again right now. It's happening. The Flex looks like it's already torn. It's already totally crunched in half.
No, that's from testing it.
Testing it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, it's because that's an original.
It's an original.
That came off of
as
a brand new iPad. That's
Wow.
the Apple plastic on there.
Is it? Wow.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, obviously, you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, duh.
Obviously, you're a master. So this morning, when you were didn't want to tell Lewis what you did, and you didn't want to tell me what you did you foresee that we would be live streaming?
No, I was actually not going to tell anybody about that. I was
And
going
then,
to
what
refuse.
was your lie gonna be?
Yeah,
We just had a bunch of bad fuses. Did you actually get that
Yeah.
far to think of what alternative fact could I use?
No, I was gonna work on that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What would it have been? Christy didn't tell me that. That would be a good start.
I was gonna blame it on the SMC.
The SMC? And what have you been doing all day? Oh, I've just been reballing an SMC.
Yeah.
Really? Where'd you get it?
No,
I
it's
found
just-
it with the iPod 4th touchscreens. You ordered it a long time ago. You forgot.
It's a bad ball. I reballed it by hand.
That is really funny. All right, that is definitely a troll. Now I'm sure that so hey, somebody sent me $2
What?
Somebody sent me a toonie. Thanks, Simon De Almeida.
You should totally look up Mark Schaefer on YouTube and subscribe to him. He's like way
Way better.
Yeah.
I heard he's a drunk. And I also heard that he can't tell what side of a connector is the backlight side. I mean, but now in retrospect, it's kind of like, how would it be that the image side got chewed up, the backlight side is pristine, and the connector itself was fucked up so bad that it had to be replaced?
Well, you know the really embarrassing thing about that
Yep.
is
Is what? I can't wait.
I've made that mistake before.
Oh my god! Oh my god! What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Oh my god.
It's most of the time not opening the board view works out well enough.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Yeah, but when it doesn't.
But with this fucking 15-inch
Here,
MacBooks.
why would you not open the board view? Like,
Because
is it hard? Is it like, I don't want to, oh, you got to click 3 times?
No, I was already booted into OS 10, so I would have had.
I see.
I would have had to
I
like,
see.
reboot, boot into
I see.
Windows.
You know what? So this is all because you're a Mac user. Right?
Yeah, basically it's Apple's fault.
Look at that! I see a white crap screen with no fucking image.
All right, I should not have put the rest of those away. That was a really bad idea.
That is really funny.
Good luck.
All right, which one's the good one? Because that one was like thick,
The
heavy.
very next one you pull out.
The next one is? Okay.
Yeah.
Look at that beautiful whiteness. Maybe that's his lock screen. It's like he just took a white, like, it's a picture of the white light that he has in his room, and you can't see the slide unlock because it's just white text on white. This is working. This is gonna be great.
You gotta answer the important question. What's Mark's channel name?
What's Mark's channel name?
Just my
I think it's
name.
pretty sure Mark. It's called Mark.
Mark Schaefer.
Mark opens board view
Look it up. Find it's a picture of me with a red shirt.
with a red shirt.
Yeah, red shirt.
Why do you have a red shirt?
All
All right, let's do this. Let's do the short the battery hard reset thing you can do on these.
That's part of my like shaving and like taking a picture of myself and updating all of my social
Oh
media
yes,
for the
yes. You got profesh. Yes,
yeah.
totally profesh. Before you like drink beer and. Oh!
Holy shit!
Holy shit! Apple logo. See, this is when I really need my.
Is this your donor board?
Oh shit! No, of course not.
Wait a minute. Hang on. Was the whole problem with this iPod Touch 4th generation that it had a bad battery? And did we just?
I did take off a cap. I took off a cap.
Did we just stream for like 2.5 hours?
How to change an iPod? How not? Let's change the title to "How Not to Change an iPod Battery." Yeah, pretty much. How to get a really fucking dead battery to turn an iPad on. Watch it boot to recovery mode. That's gonna really suck. Eee. What? But I mean, it is pretty shitty. Look at that. It looks like chalk. This looks like cat puke. This looks like BlackBerry got in the trash
30 minutes
today.
looking for the damage before you pulled the battery out. Like, oh.
Well, he said
Oh, there you go.
The note says tech. What does it say? Tech had a slip on board during screen replacement, and it needs a comma. And there's a passcode they don't know. Yay! Touch works. All right, great. Slide to unlock. Look at that. This is a blast from the past. Look at that.
5 or.
Wow. Look, you can see the pictures. Oh, that's just the camera. Let's take a picture of us. Oh, there's no more space.
There's no front camera. Duh.
Duh.
What's wrong with you?
Oh, it's locked. Damn it.
Oh, man. I gotta do something about that.
You know what that is?
Cancer?
That's where I always joke about how I'm soldering in my underwear, but I never actually am. But this one
Except for
night-
this one time?
this one
Where are we
night-
going with this?
And so I'm doing a 5S long screw, and like I'm like soldering the traces, and then I go to like grab my little X-Acto to cut the trace off and solder the next one.
Wait, are you
And,
actually soldering in your underwear?
Yeah.
Why?
Because what does it matter? It's like they can only see.
You know what? That
from
doesn't
the waist
happen
up.
in New York. Wait, on a fucking YouTube video?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
So
Which
so
one?
I bumped.
Which one?
I don't know if it's uploaded yet. It might still be queued.
Oh my god.
But so I bump the mini the mini iron.
I would like
right?
to point something
and like,
out.
It falls down and goes into an arc and sticks into my leg.
Oh
Like
my
it doesn't poke me and fall out. Like it jabs and sticks and like.
And it's on?
Yeah.
It's
I was
seared
just
you like a
using it.
steak?
Yeah, I figured it
You got
cauterized
you,
it was
you
fine.
branded yourself?
I'm pretty sure that my leg is now pushing out the chunk of lead
my God.
solder that was
Oh my
shoved
God.
into there. It's,
All the fume extraction in the world
it's
cannot keep you safe from.
definitely whatever
Oh my
happened
God.
is being rejected.
Well, Mark, I have a suggestion. I think you should wear pants when you're
Yeah, I
making
plan to.
videos. I think you should.
It's
All professional?
All it takes is one time. It's like making bacon without a shirt on. You only do it once.
I've never done that. 'Cause I'm
Well,
not-
if you ever
because
had,
I'm
it
not
would have only been the
retarded.
one time.
I see that. All right. I hate it when people don't send the passcodes. Let's fix the other one.
No, let's end this and get some sleep.
That was a trick. All right. What else is in? What else is in here? But one thing we were talking about this week was whether or not an employer has the right to mandate that his female employees, wear a bra to work. What do you think about that?
I think I'm for that. I think that they do.
Why?
Because I think that is comparable to if a female can walk around with no bra. Obviously, the reason why that could be problematic is pointy nipples, right? So the way I see that is the equivalent to if she can walk around with no bra and pointy nipples, then I should be able to
saw
walk
your
around,
ass crack today at least 10 times.
I should be able to walk around with sweatpants and a raging hard on.
But here's the thing. But you already walk around with your ass hanging out, like at least.
That was when
at
I
least
was
30%
fucking
of the time.
fixing your computer.
I that's why I didn't bring it up until now. I mean, it's not like I'm not appreciative.
Yeah, no, not at all.
But where's the line? Can I say, Mark, you need to wear Mormon underwear if you can't wear appropriately sized pants?
No, you could be like, hey,
You need to
Mark,
wear a belt.
Hey, Mark, fixing my computer isn't in your job description.
All right. Who's typing for iPad if they're not typing? I don't know. Fuck this repair shit.
It's that hacker 4chan.
There's a person named Genetics. Jessa. What does that mean? Women wearing makeup is already the equivalent of a hard-on. What? What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, I don't follow that logic at all.
Yeah, no.
But
that's,
I think
you've been reading too much. Boycott the bitches or whatever.
If I was in a
that
workplace where it was acceptable for women to walk around with their nipples poking out, then
What's the big deal? Why do you care if a nipple's poking out? How is that? Is it?
It's offensive.
Is it offensive?
It offends my delicate
Which is more
sensibilities.
offensive? Female nipples or male ass crack?
Female nipples.
It's more offensive?
Yes.
Wow.
Absolutely.
I type my own posts. Oh, shit. How can you be logged in as me and you?
You have 2 browsers. God, Grandma. He opened an incognito tab and logged in as iPad Rehab.
I want you to log in as Fixin' Mom. See what? Can you see if you can come up, if you can knock on Fixin' Mom's door?
Log
and
in
see
as
what she
Fixing
does?
Mom and have her argue with Louis Rossman.
Yes!
And iPad Rehab, like, try to negotiate peace.
Yes. Yes. Ask Fixing Mom what she thinks about wearing bras to work. I, by the way, always wear bras to work. I don't understand.
Mom owns bras.
I don't understand why women don't wear bras at all, because where do they put their phone? That makes no sense. In fact, I was really bummed out when I had...
It's your wallet.
Yeah, it's my bralette. Yeah, I mean, like, my phone is constantly in my bralette. And then I was really bummed out when I realized, I thought that was a great idea. I'm going to invent a product, the bralette, that would not just be... Fuck you! I turned 50 yesterday. Oh, where's my delete permissions thing? Lewis, can you team viewer to my computer and delete Lewis Rossman's permissions for my channel? Can you do that? And I can use the computer.
We gotta end
read
this.
this
It's
now.
like 12 minutes till midnight.
Yeah, it is. You could poke your eye out with nipples. I don't really get it though. I think that does Cecilia wear a bra all the time
Yeah.
around the house?
I try to get her not to.
Yeah. So what made you not wear pants while you were doing YouTube?
Well, I just
You shit yourself earlier and you just didn't have another clean pair?
no. I got out of bed at like 1 a.m.
I see.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So I was like-
what's happening in here? Who's that?
He's making random people moderators.
Every moderator on there was made moderator by Lewis like some other time.
He just makes people mods.
Why does he have to do it from here instead of...
I don't know.
Why are you doing that? That doesn't make any sense.
Wait, is he typing? Was he typing messages from your computer? Is that how he was doing that?
I have no idea.
Yeah, you weren't paying attention.
Yeah.
You don't even know how any of this stuff works. You're grandma.
Yeah, exactly. What is all
No,
this
we
thing
do.
say?
We really need to.
Yeah, we do.
It's late.
All right, we're going to be done. End stream. And we will have to delete this. It's 2 hours long of fixing an iPod 4th generation touch. Where is stop stream? Back over here. And that's how you fix an iPod 4th generation touch for data recovery.